having a powerful female main character immediately make a show feminist? Until recently, I, along with the majority of people, assumed that it did. However, when thinking more about a show that I really enjoyed when it came out in 2021, WandaVision, which boasts a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes and had an average of 600 million minutes watched each week a new episode came out, I realized that this might not be true. While Wanda Maximoff, the main character in WandaVision, is arguably the strongest superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU, the show reinforces misogynistic stereotypes as it portrays her as an overly emotional woman whose only goal in life is to cook, clean, and take care of her kids. Wanda was introduced in the MCU in Avengers Age of Ultron along with her twin brother Pietro. Throughout her life, she has had many hardships. Her parents died when she was young, and she, along with Pietro, joined Hydra, a terrorist organization, to get back at Tony Stark, or Iron Man, whose company made the weapon that killed her parents. Hydra experimented on them and gave Pietro super speed and her the powers of telekinesis and mind manipulation. But during Avengers Age of Ultron, Pietro was killed. After eventually joining the Avengers, Wanda fell in love with a sentient android named Vision. But during the movie Avengers Infinity War, he was killed by Thanos, and Wanda, along with half of Earth's population, was disintegrated for 5 years. When the remaining Avengers beat Thanos and Wanda came back to life in Avengers Endgame, she was grief-stricken by Vision's death. In WandaVision, she used her powers to trap all the people in a town called Westview in a seemingly perfect false reality that she created in which Vision is still alive. Even though her creating this false reality and enslaving thousands of people's minds makes Wanda seem very powerful, pushing seemingly feminist ideals, her reasons for making this reality, as well as how she makes it perfect for her, uses misogynistic stereotypes. She is portrayed as a housewife throughout most of the show, in which each episode takes place in a different decade. In the first episode, which happens in a 50s-like setting, Wanda is seen preparing dinner for a dinner party, while her husband Vision is able to talk to their guests and have fun. This continues into the 60s episode, when Wanda, as well as the other women in town, are planning a talent show for the children while their husbands are working. And also continues into the 70s, where Wanda's role in her household slightly changes as another essential part of being a good housewife emerges: pregnancy. Throughout this episode, Wanda is pregnant for most of it, and then is seen redirecting her attention from cooking to raising her kids. As the series goes on, the facade that Wanda has created starts to fall apart as people on the outside of Westview realize what she is doing and try to free the people from her control. As this facade falls apart, Wanda does not do as typical of housewife duties, implying that the most perfect her reality was when she had the most typical misogynistic housewife duties. But by the 21st century episodes, while Wanda does not continue doing as stereotypical of housewife jobs, she portrays another misogynistic stereotype: having uncontrollable emotions. In this episode, Wanda has a friend watch her children while she has a mental breakdown, which she doctors by eating cereal and watching TV, portraying the so-called strongest woman as mentally unstable and lazy when things get hard. When her husband comes home from work and notices her emotional state, he tries to calm her down, pushing the binary of women being emotional while men are rational, which also occurs when Wanda gets mad and Vision has to try to fight her to calm her down. Wanda's hysterical behavior is also apparent in episode 8, the second to last episode in this series. In this episode, Wanda's backstory, as well as the backstory of how she created Westview, is revealed, which is showed here. This clip shows that the only reason why she created Westview was unintentionally after seeing Vision dead, showing that she is not in control of her powers and is the most powerful when she is doing what women are incorrectly perceived to be the best at, being emotional, while also showing that Wanda is unable to function without having a man in her life, discouraging any hope of having a strong, independent female protagonist in WandaVision. These implications that women only want to be a housewife and have kids and a husband and are overly emotional are misogynistic beliefs that may subconsciously alter the beliefs and ideals of young superhero fans watching the show. While I think that it is awesome that Marvel has started to create shows and movies that star powerful women, I think that it is important that they do this right and use their large platform to break misogynistic stereotypes and empower young children instead of feeding into these stereotypes and setting the feminist movement back. Thank you for listening.